Welcome to Football Roundup with your host, Randy Silver. We break down the biggest sports stories daily from the global game, football. Today we have UEFA, Europa League, and Conference League group stage review, analysis, and reaction. The topics we'll cover is Europa League, the Conference League, are they the same, are they different, how is it different than Champions League, the draw reveal, individual group breakdown, analysis, and so much more. So if you're a football fan, this is the place for you. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you can notify when these drop. And of course, let's enjoy. We have a video out. It's getting a lot of rave reviews, good reviews. UEFA Champions League group stage review. We did the same thing of this video for that. It'll be popping up right now. It's in the bio, so go check that one out if you want to see the Champions League breakdown. What is the difference between Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League? It's all based off of your qualifications in your domestic league to get into each competition. In your domestic league, let's use England for example, you play in the EPL. Based on your standing in the EPL, you can qualify for UEFA, which is a intercontinental competition, so all the best teams in Europe play each other. For a Champions League, you have to be usually within the top 4 of your country. Smaller countries, it's either 1 or 2, and you have to qualify in. Europa League is usually between like 3 through 7, again, depending on what country you're in, and Conference League would be the same. Looking at the chart here, so Champions League is the best of the best. In the group stage, you move to the round of 16 if you come the top 2 in your group, and you play other top 2s from each group. If you come in 3rd in your group in Champions League, you move down to the Europa League. You'll play the team that came in 2nd in the Europa League group. You'll play them, and then the winner of that moves on to the round of 16. Same thing for Conference League. If you come in 3rd place in Europa League in your group, you move down to play the team that came in 2nd place in the Conference League. So basically, if you're in the top 3, you still have a chance for European competition. If you're out, then you're out as 4th. The way you qualify in, you go into your top 32, you play each team home and away, and then you try to move on to the round of 16, which is knockout, aggregate, home and away. So when is the Europa League draw? The 3rd round qualifying was July 24th. You may say, hey, it's September 2nd, September 1st. What do you mean? Europa League starts really early because this is so many countries throughout Europe and they try to qualify. It's a lot of smaller countries, a lot of smaller teams work their way up. So they start very early September. Playoffs are August 7th. The one that just happened, the final 32, it's a group stage, September 1st. Knockout playoff round, December 18th is when we'll find out the last 16. Then you have the round of 16 and then the quarterfinals and semifinals. Match dates. Match date 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll play the same team. Match day 1 is 6, 2 is 5, 3 is 4. You'll just switch. So if you're home on match day 1, you'll be away match day 6. Home match day 2, away match day 5. If you're home match day 3, away match day 4, or vice versa. What is the Europa League format? The group winners advance directly to the round of 16, while the group winners go to the knockout round, as we talked about, where you face the 3rd place team from Champions League. The 3rd place team in Europa League will then move down to Europa Conference League, where they'll play the 2nd place team from there. Where is the Europa League final this year? It will be held at the Dublin Arena in the Republic of Ireland, May 22nd, 2024. It will be rocking. Last year's winner, Sevilla. What's the prize? You get prize money for winning Europa League. You also get to move up automatically into Champions League. You go straight to the round of 32. So Sevilla beat Roma here, and because of that, they automatically move up to the final competition. Pot 1, West Ham, Liverpool, Roma, Ajax, Villarreal, Leverkusen, Atalanta, Rangers. So they were all top qualifiers in Pot 1. Pot 2 is Sporting, Slavia, Rennes, Olympiacos, Real Betis, LASK, Marseille, Karabag. Pot 3, Molde, Brighton, Sheriff, Union, Freiburg, Sparta, Maccabi, Sturm. In Pot 4, Toulouse, Athens, Topola, Servette, Panathinaikos, Raków, Aris, Haken. So a lot of teams you may not recognize there. Again, a lot of smaller European teams are able to qualify through here where they would not be able to compete in Champions League. So here's your breakdown. You had your pots, how did they break out, and we're going to go through each group. Group A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And we'll talk about what is the actual group of death as well. Group A, West Ham, Olympiacos, Freiburg, Bačka, Topola. West Ham won the Conference League last year, so they automatically qualified for Europa League. They are in Pot A. Then you would have to say that they're the favorite coming from the EPL. They had a good start to the season. Your second favorite would either be Olympiacos or Freiburg, and then your Cinderella story would be Topola. Some analysis from live feed. West Ham's return to European competition will see them lock horns with Greek giants Olympiacos, the always competitive Freiburg, and Serbian side Topola. The Hammers will be hopeful of topping the group, but always days in Greece and Germany could be tricky. Group B, this is your group of death. Ajax, Marseille, Brighton, and Athens. Ajax from Netherlands, Marseille in France, Brighton from EPL, first time in European competition quite a while, and Athens in Greece. Four-time European champions Ajax, who were in the Champions League semifinals only half a decade ago, find themselves pitted against the French outfit Marseille, Premier League side Brighton, and Athens. Ajax will likely be favorites, but Marseille's recent resurgence in League One should not be taken lightly. Brighton's first foray in European competition will be watched closely by English fans. And they've really stepped up, had a good start to this season as well. Group C, Rangers, Betis, Praha, and Limassol. Scottish champions Rangers have a challenging group with La Liga's Real Betis, Czech side Sparta Praha, and Cyprus of Aris and Limassol. It's technically not Steven Gerrard's man anymore because he's not in Rangers anymore. He's in Saudi Arabia. He'll have the work cut out for them against Betis, but their passionate fan base will be expecting them to progress. Group D, Atalanta, Sporting, Sturm, Raków. Atalanta was in the semifinals, quarterfinals of Champions League only a couple years ago. You'd have to think they're favorites in this group and moving forward as well in Europa League. Atalanta, having impressed in Serie A lately, will feel confident against the likes of Sporting, Sturm, and Raków. However, Sporting, with a good, rich history in Europe, could be a stern test. Group B, your overall Europa League favorites have to be Liverpool, LASK, Union, and Toulouse round out Group B. Liverpool, obviously historic, won Champions League 5-6 years ago. The players they have, Mo Salah, Diaz, Alisson, just absolutely will train in this group most likely and should be coasting to the semifinals at the very least. They had an off-season EPL. They did not finish in the top four. They came in 5th or 6th, which is why in Europa League. Again, they should be the clear favorites to move forward, which will be good. They can probably play some second-tier players in Europa League and rest players for the EPL. Group F, Villarreal, Rennes, Haifa, and Panathinaikos. Villarreal was probably your favorites here, with Rennes being second. What does the analysis say? Villarreal have become regulars in European competition, lead the group. Rennes, Haifa, and Panathinaikos from Greece round up the group. It could be more competitive than you think. This would be one of the groups that maybe comes down to the final day. They could be all beating each other. Group G, Roma, Praha, Sheriff, and Servette. Roma has to, again, be a favorite. Last year, they were in the Conference League final. They lost in penalties. They should be someone, they were in the Europa League final. They lost in penalties. RSD being Champions League. They have Jose Mourinho. They now have Lukaku. They have some other players, Topola. You think that they would be your favorites here to get to the semifinals like Liverpool. You would think Roma would look to dominate. The other teams here, Mourinho expects to win. He plays to win, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Group H, Leverkusen, Karabag, Molde, and Haken, the last group. Leverkusen has to be your favorites again, and the other three competing for second spot. Leverkusen will be wary of the challenges posed by Karabag, Molde, and Haken. The German side will likely be favorites, but trips to Azerbaijan and Sweden can be potential banana skins, especially having to go to Azerbaijan. That's a long flight. That's not going to be easy on the players to get there. That is your group stage draw for Europa League. Groups A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So please comment your thoughts. Who do you think will win? Who do you think will be the sleeper? And then let us know in the comments, of course. Now let's move on to the Conference League. As a friendly reminder, let's go over the format again. How do we get to the Europa Conference League? So you have the Champions League, Europa League, Europa Conference League. This is the lowest level in the UEFA competitions. The round of 32, if you come in third place in the Europa League, then you'll play the second place team from Europa Conference League, and then those teams will play the round of 16 against the first place team in Europa Conference League. These teams are going to be from the smaller countries in Europe, the smaller markets, and it's something that really helps these countries have opportunity to play in Europe, grow their fan base, grow their competition level, and move up. And if you win Europa Conference League, you automatically move to Europa League. And if you win Europa League, as we said, you automatically move to Champions League. The Conference League final will be played in Greece in this beautiful stadium. Last year, the Conference League final was the winner, West Ham United from England. First championship in 40, 50 years for them on the international competition level. They automatically qualify for Europa League for winning the Conference League. Here are your pots for the Europa Conference League. Again, there are not going to be a lot of teams you may recognize just because they're from smaller countries or countries that are teams in there that are not well recognized in countries. So you got Frankfurt, Freiburg, Bruges, Alkmaar, Gent, Fenerbahce, Lille, Freiburg, excuse me if I pronounce it wrong, Pot 2, Paiko, Slavia and Bratislava, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Victoria Pleasant, Aston Villa, Ludogorets, Fiorentina, Boda Glimt, and then you got Ghent, Lunsk, Astana, Besiktas, Helsinki, Warsaw, Trnava, Legia Ljubljana, and then 4, Zrinski, Ki Kalinski, Aberdeen, Kokoraki, Lugano, Birderlik, Nordersland, and Balakini. So you can see a lot of different teams in here, a lot of more Slavic countries, smaller former Yugoslavia type of countries where they get the opportunity to compete against the bigger boys here. So here's your groups, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And let's dive into each specific group for you for the Europa Conference League. Group A, LASK, Slavia, Ljubljana, and then Kraljevic. You would think that LASK is probably the favorite here to move on as the top of the group. Group B, Ghent, Tel Aviv, Zorya Luhansk, and Brda. You would think Ghent is probably the favorite, Tel Aviv as second. Third, Dynamo Zagreb, Victoria Pleasant, Astana, Balaka Kanini. Probably Dinamo Zagreb is going to be your favorite here. Club Bruges, Bodo, Besiktas, and Lugano. Club Bruges and Besiktas are probably your two favorites here. They've definitely been in Europa League before. They've also had some opportunities to be around Champions League when they have a phenomenal year. So those are your two most experienced and will be fighting out for first place. Group E, Alkmaar, Aston Villa, Lega, Zrinski. You would have to say Aston Villa, even though they haven't been in Europe in quite a while. The favorites started EPL hot this year. They got in here by having the second best record in the second half of the season, EPL last season. They signed some players, get ready for this. They have good depth. Playing in EPL every week, you think that they would be able to come in here and be successful. But we know European nights can be tricky. Group F, Fiorentina, Genk, Kukuraki, and Ferencváros. Fiorentina was in the finals or semifinals last year for which one. They would come back with experience. You would think that they have the best chance, especially playing in Serie A, Italian league. Group G, Frankfurt, PAOK, Hijek, Arbiden. Frankfurt playing in the German league are going to be your favorites here. They're going to hopefully go through this group relatively easy. They've been big in European nights the past couple of years. Group H, Fenerbahce, Ludogorets, Sparta, Trnava, Nordsjælland. Fenerbahce playing in Turkey are going to be your favorites here. But again, a lot of these are Slavic countries, potentially excuse me, Nordic countries. So there's going to be some traveling for these teams that they're going to have to be aware of and be prepared for. So here's your group stages again. Group A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Aston Villa is going to be a favorite. Fiorentina is going to be a favorite. Your other favorite's going to be probably Fenerbahce and Frankfurt. That is your UEFA Europa League and Conference League group stage preview. Please subscribe and comment. We'll keep you updated throughout the whole European night season. We'll drop episodes on Champions League Roundup, on Europa League and Conference League Roundup. We drop midweek and end of week updates on domestic league games, transfer updates, so much more for you on Futbol Round-Up. So please subscribe. We'll keep you updated. My name is Randy Silver. Thank you for watching. Football nights are back in Europe. A couple weeks. So excited. Let's get it.